Hello, everyone. It has been roughly 64 years since our last podcast. What it feels like.
84 years.
Good.
Oh
We're
my
not, we're not,
god.
we're not getting into it because that's part of my two rules about this podcast. But my God, it's been 64 years since the last podcast. Um, yeah. We
What it feels
have.
like.
It does. Yeah, we have another. Well, not first time in a while here. Jacob is here for this week.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back, brother.
On top of the main crew, and we're excited. Got a ton of stuff to talk about here. But before we start out, we talk about how our 2 weeks have been. Jacob, how has your last 2 weeks been?
Pretty good. I've just things, God willing, things are going smoothly. Then I will start even another job at MSU. This time, researching about how autism is depicted in kids' books. So, yeah, and I've also I finished reading a great book actually called Neurotribes: The Future of Autism, I believe it's called, directed by Steve Silberman. It's written by Steve Silberman, actually. So I recommend that.
Nice. Bree, how about you?
I'm without getting into it. It's hilarious to me that the joke I made like 2 weeks ago about Brad has become like prophetic. Literally the meme of Apollo and the gift of prophecy. That it happened to me. I guess it has to happen to all of us at some point, but but as you can see, my 2 weeks, I literally just got out of Twister's 40X in one piece. Surprisingly, got a little brisket here about
Powell sweat all over her.
Oh yeah, all big and sweaty. You know, they actually did have like a scent in there, so it actually did smell like
How does
him.
Glenn Powell's set smell?
Oh,
Does
Like
it smell
fresh
like
cut
rocket
grass,
fuel and
apparently.
bubblegum?
Fresh cut grass, supposedly. And I've been just working on my scripts and stuff, and just keep telling myself, "Ha, is this real life?" I don't even know what to do anymore. So I'm just kind of throwing my hands in the air like I just don't care, and just trying to vibe through life.
Very much. Mike, how about you?
Speaking of twisters, last Tuesday, the town next to mine.
Hey,
New
hey,
York-
hey, Umbreon, I'm the same way. I'm straight, but Ryan Reynolds is gorgeous, so I know everyone has that one.
Yep.
Them's the rules.
Anyway, last Tuesday, Rome, New York got hit with I think it was an F2 tornado.
Don't they go out of their way in the movie to say how rare tornadoes are in New York?
They
They
do.
do.
I literally just saw it yesterday. I'm like, I swear to God, they said that in the film.
Like literally the first like 15 minutes.
It just made me laugh because, like, where I live, we got everything. We got thunderstorms. We had like gallons of rain. Just we got destroyed. Not as bad as Rome. They actually got torn up pretty badly, but yeah, things weren't looking so great in my neck of the woods, which is kind of perfect because that was the week that Twisters premiered.
A little too intense marketing there.
Seriously.
Hey, they got to get the money they can before Deadpool starts steamrolling the box office a little bit. So, Kiona, how about you? How you been?
I've been okay. Today took a bit of a hit, but other than that, it's been all right. Yeah, nothing much going on. I have to wait to see Deadpool and Wolverine, which sucks, but them's the breaks.
Sorry,
But yeah, I mean, it's been a good week. It's been a good week. I'm excited for this weekend with the new podcast and everything. So new podcast episode. So that's the thing that's keeping me going.
Nice. Hello, sweet. How's it going?
Hey, Melinda.
Thank you for stopping by, Melinda. It's for my 2 weeks. I've literally been trying to avoid everything like landmines, and accidentally stepped on one about 20 minutes ago as far as Deadpool goes, and I'm like literally my phone is off until 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon.
I don't get why people do that. I mean, I've been like lucky; the algorithms kind of like spared me with like spoilers, but I'm like, dude, like what the fuck? Especially since like most territories aren't getting it till like tomorrow.
That's kind of a benefit of original movies now, is that people tend to care a little less about spoilers. Like people are less inclined to.
Well, it's not even a care of spoilers. It's I wonder how many views I can get because I'm being a dickhead.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. You know, got to get that social just credit. You know, got to be performative and like that other
'Cause-
bullshit.
Because
Yeah.
clout is important.
Oh. The most important of resources. Fuck solar energy. Fuck wind power. It's all about that clout, baby.
Whenever I come across like something like that, but I just like assume that someone like
Cloud sync.
did like CGI or something. Like that was like some clever editing or something. Just assume that
Oh.
like when Toby and Andrew, like that was quasi spoiled. I think I forgot it by the time that cameo actually happened, but in hindsight, that was like the worst kept secret in Hollywood. So
That was
Oh yeah,
That was-
I'm like,
one of those things where even if it wasn't this like, oh, every one of their villains is there, but they're not.
yeah, I've been like,
yeah, people definitely want to see Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, Thomas Jane Church, Jamie Foxx, and Ray Evans, but Toby and Andrew, they can sit this.
No. And okay, have we all seen the trailer that shows the Thing for Deadpool?
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Or know the Thing?
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't offended they showed that in a trailer. That is the Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire level. No shit, they're going to be in the film cameo.
Mhm.
If there's and I'm going to tell you now, they did that because oh boy, is there bigger surprises in the film. I know because fuck off TikTok.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
I don't enjoy TikTok, so
yeah, it's like we're giving you a little here. This is the one that was happening. We're gonna give a cool moment in the trailer. Here you go, because we don't care if you know about that one. We somehow hit a lot better ones.
I remember when I went to, I was waiting for Avengers Endgame. I was like in the lobby at the IMAX theater, and I was like playing like on headphones. I was playing the loudest possible music I can listen to as the last audience walked out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we are going to get started into buy or sell. We have a good amount of them, so we're going to try and keep these short and sweet. So what we're basically going to do is like John Campia stole it. I stole it from John Campia, and John Campia stole it from Around the Horn. We are going to be basically just giving a short and sweet answer why we buy or sell a certain topic, and we'll just go around and get through the smaller stuff so we can have a bigger conversation on everything else. All right, Mike, I will let you go first. Buy or sell the new Joker 2 trailer?
I buy it. To reiterate what I said on Twitter the other day, 5 years ago, and Brock, I'm pretty sure you remember me saying this, I did not at all want a Joker sequel.
Nope.
Now it's like one of my most anticipated movies of the year.
No, that movie was the first review we did together back on this channel.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We both y'all want to see how far my quality has gone. Go look at the ham sandwich quality shot of that fucking video. Oh god, that's bad. Oh, it's not good. That thing is at -5 frames per second. That video is horrendous. If I remember, I will cut some in right here when I'm editing. It's bad. And the freaking aspect ratio is just ass. It jumps from longer shooting it.
so you're saying it's ass?
Oh, it's ass.
Is it potato ass?
Total ass. Not the good kind of ass.
Was it the kind of quality from like back in the day, like the Comic-Con leaks, on the potato vision?
It's worse. No, it's worse. Oh, it's worse.
I got
it's bad.
down for this.
Wow.
I got
QuickTime videos.
Oh, it's bad. It's like probably the 8th video on this channel. Keep in mind now we've done like 390 videos on this channel since then. But anyway, Kiona, if you've seen it,
I have seen it. I've seen the trailer. I'm gonna watch it, but I'll still say sell. I don't like romanticizing the Joker.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm a cautious buy. I have like a confession to make. I still haven't watched the original Joker in full, and I still have to. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to, because I never believed like the whole Joker whatever. I just didn't have time and just I kind of forgot about it. But no, this looks good. I mean, it looks well shot. You know, it definitely feels like there's a different story. I'm kind of very curious about Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn now that we know more. Like, obviously, quite a bit of a deviation from the comics, but I'm kind of interested to see, you know, her doing like her own completely original take of Harley Quinn set in this universe, not attached to like the DCU or like the animated stuff. So, yeah, I'm kind of a little morbidly curious.
now remember, there was a decent chunk of the internet that wanted that toothpick of a version of the Joker to be Ben Affleck's Joker.
Ugh.
No.
No.
What?
I'm like, I understand he's not meant to be a fighter, but Ben Affleck could blink at him and he would snap in half.
You know, every time that
No.
comic comes up, I just see that meme picture of like Ben Affleck smoking a cigarette.
That cigarette would have been Arthur that he was smoking.
Yeah.
That's what how that would have ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Buy, but it's buy because I really enjoyed the first Joker, but I do think that when you compare the original Joker to the movies that inspired it, it's way less impressive. I think compared to like Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. I haven't even seen King of Comedy. I'm assuming it's a little less mainstream than Joker. Obviously, well, that's to be expected. But I do think that the reason why Joker is like considered like a masterpiece is because a large chunk of those mainstream people have not seen either Taxi Driver or King of Comedy.
Yeah, I mean, the comparison I always heard to Joker is that it was like a poor man's Taxi Driver, which isn't necessarily like a bad thing. It just, you know, in terms of like, I guess a comic book movie that's like high art, you're probably not going to do much better.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. I don't felt like that movie ever tried to be a comic book movie.
I would agree.
I came across a Letterboxd review of Joker, and it's like the most popular, that's the most liked a review on Letterboxd is that if you've never been to the ocean, even a pool would seem deep.
Ooh.
That I as much as I don't think it's a masterpiece, that is a person that had a hate boner and wanted to not like that movie beforehand. Because I don't care if you haven't seen the inspirations, that's taking it a far stretch.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like it's like I just hope that it doesn't like try to like hit the same beats like Arthur Fleck having a big speech about society, like what we saw like in the courtroom. I hope that's able to stand out. I'm more interested in like the musical number. I think is it a jukebox musical?
Yeah,
or-
it's a jukebox.
It is.
Oh, okay. To be perfectly honest, I was kind of hoping it would be original songs, like, but hey, whatever. I am interested in checking, mainly because Brendan Gleeson. I saw Brendan Gleeson in the trailer. That I'll watch him in anything.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Going on. It seems like this has been a thing that has been going on for roughly 90 years, but apparently, finally, the Blumhouse Spawn movie is happening. So, Kiona, buy or sell King Spawn?
Is it gonna happen? I mean, I don't know. It's McFarlane, right? He's like the driving force behind this, right? Him and Jason
Well,
Blum.
I guess Blum was the one that like went to him when he said he was doing it and wanted to do this. Give or take, I
Okay.
think they've been trying to do this since pre-COVID,
Hmm.
and this is the first time they've had a title.
Cautious buy, maybe cautious buy.
Hmm.
Yeah, Very,
It just- to me,
extremely
it's-
cautious.
I mean, to me, it's just gonna be weird. Like, for me, it's weird to imagine, like, a Spawn movie that's not hot garbage, potentially.
Well, if you're not going to have John Leguizamo calling people a girly man, then I don't know if.
It's so 90s.
what's
Like, I
the
don't hate it, but it's like, my god, is that movie aged poorly? Like, it didn't even look good back then.
Not really, no.
Didn't it have? Oh God, what's his name? Who played Jason Wynn? Wasn't it? Ah, it's Elusive Man. I can't think of his name. Oh, what's his name? Martin Sheen was the main villain in that movie, if I'm remembering correctly.
Oh God, is that who it was?
With like jet black dyed hair.
Oh, you should say pre-West Wing Martin Sheen? Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think so. Yeah, imagining that Michael Jai White's wife left him for Martin Sheen. Or no, was that how that went? How the hell did that go? I don't exactly remember how that all went. I don't know if that's how it went in the story. It's not it was the comic, but either way, yeah, it's Mike, buy or sell.
I buy, in theory, the idea of this movie, but I'm selling because of this excerpt on Wikipedia. In early 2015, McFarlane announced a new Spawn film adaptation.
2015! Wow, oh my god.
I don't know. Seems like vaporware.
I call this The Boy Who Cried Spawn.
Oh, man.
2000.
That could be the subtitle to the movie, honestly.
Hey man,
King
we're
Spawn,
getting
the
we're
boy
getting
who
the
cried
third Hellboy when we didn't even know the film was being shot. So
Anything's possible.
Jacob, do you
Spirit
have
Halloween
any?
Spawn.
No,
Well, hey man, you don't have any opinion really? I did kind of think you didn't.
I sell, but I guess it's like a high sell. I'm really not interested in Spawn. Spawn's a little more niche of a comic book for me personally, so I can't really be that enthused. I can't either be that enthused or that passionately against it, to be honest.
Yeah, Spawn is kind of like one of those really like niche 90 things, like the Max.
Yeah.
Like, which the weird thing
I'd
about the
like
Max
to
thing,
see it.
yeah, I wouldn't mind someone rebooting the Max. I mean, I saw the MTV series.
That'd be cool.
Well, I
Yeah.
pirated it as a
MTV
kid,
series
but
is great.
Yeah, it was good.
yeah, I'm just kind of curious, just because. But the comics, from what I understand, are a lot more interesting, even though I do like the MTV series. But yeah, Spawn and like the Max are just like from a very like specific point in the 90s. So I'm like
Yeah.
kind of curious to see like how that would even translate for a modern audience without it kind of being like a self-parody of like the edgiest of edgy boy stuff.
Hey, right now one of the most popular things on the planet is The Boys, so it could work.
I remember.
Yeah,
it was
but
powerful.
I
You
feel
were
like
right.
the boys are self-aware. It's boys
Oh.
fans who don't understand the irony.
No, it's Boys fans that just don't watch the show, and I've been seeing that from how they don't understand the second that they actually put plot in the show, that they don't get how the show works. What?
I think
I don't
Powerpuff
understand
Girls-
how that didn't work.
Powerpuff Girls did a tribute to Spawn once, or should I say a parody once? I think Sprawl. I think it was called.
I
Well,
remember
it could
that.
be. It
Oh,
could be.
yeah.
All right. One thing that I am a big I'm looking forward to if they do Spawn, because they could be some ridiculous crap. One thing that a statement happened recently after on the press tour for Wolverine, Kevin Feige says that he would be open to the possibility of only releasing one trailer for certain MCU films moving forward. Keona, buy or sell?
I'm gonna say bye. Yeah. I think that would be a good tactic for them to adopt it at some point.
Because
For
like
certain movies, yeah.
Avengers, why do you need more than one trailer?
Yeah, why do you need more than one? Yeah. Everybody's gonna go see it anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the worst idea either, especially if so many people complain, but it spoils the whole movie.
Okay, before I go on to the other two people, That is one of the complaints that I want to, every time I hear someone say it, beat them over the head with a socket wrench. For Deadpool 2, if you combine all those trailers, it's 8 minutes. If you cut out all the same footage they've shown in every single trailer exactly the same, we've seen roughly 5 minutes of the film that all takes place in one street corner and one patch of desert. In a 2-hour and 9-minute long movie. We've seen maybe 5 minutes if we're being generous.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole movie's spoiled and they've given us everything, but yet no one can tell me what the plot of the movie is. Oh, so you don't know. Cool. Thanks. Anyway, Mike, buy or sell?
I buy. I think this would be a good way to maybe not eliminate the spoiler problem, but it'll just be, I don't know, less work for P&A if they only have to put out one trailer and then like 50 other TV spots because they're just going to do that anyway.
Right, and also for like money, because one of the things that's an issue with blockbusters, a lot of it's like marketing, which I'm sure is ballooning the budgets too. Like, I'm not saying people's jobs to be cut, but if they just did like one really good trailer and then they could focus more of that energy into like TV spots or like other marketing, like I feel like that would be a better use of people's like time and resources.
Also, sometimes, and I'm saying almost a lot of times, the term spoiler is busted.
Oh,
Yep.
We could have a Spider-Man movie and have them show the Daily Bugle building in the background, and they would say they spoiled the fact that the Daily Bugle's in a Spider-Man movie.
What? What is the most iconic
that
buildings
is-
in comics?
It's that level of shit where every time I'm like, oh, now I know that's there. I'm like, so the thing you went to the movie for, you know, is there now. I'm sorry that Peter Parker showed up in the trailer for Spider-Man. Did that upset you?
People just want to be divisive for the sake of being divisive, because either A, they're miserable shits, you know, B, as we said, clouts, or C, you know, it could be a little both of A and B.
Yeah. All right, Jacob, how about you?
I'm just whatever you think. Marvel spoils the trailers too much or not. It's just I don't see why we can't just have one trailer per movie. I really can't.
Absolutely, have it a little bit later on in the life cycle where you have enough edited footage to do it with. Just do it that way. All right, this next one is essentially for literally just me and Kiona, and everyone else will think it's
no.
You're a fighting game player.
Yeah, I am a little bit, you know, because Guilty Gear Strive makes me feel things.
So you get horny at character rosters. There's a big difference.
Look, I am cultured.
Yes, that is the word. Yes. Fiona, buy or sell that Guilty Gear Strive is set to add Lucy from Cyberpunk Edge Runners to its roster.
Huge buy on this one. Huge buy. Yes. The sound that came out of me when that trailer happened at Evo over the past weekend was I wish that I was streaming at the time, because I freaked out.
I saw someone posted online. I'm like, okay, that's a joke. That didn't actually happen. And then I saw the official Evo Twitter. I'm like,
it did. I can't wait to see how she plays. Mono wire
good.
and shit.
Yeah,
that's gonna be awesome.
All right, Bree, why are you horny about Lucy being in the game?
Do I even have to answer that question?
Who doesn't get horny over Lucy?
Exactly.
Apparently
thank you.
everyone else, because when I say that she's a better girl than Rebecca, I get strung and quartered in the street.
Look, I love Rebecca, but
I love Rebecca.
you know, I definitely a certain demographic, let's just say, likes her a little too much, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know.
It's almost like
I know what you mean.
Yes, she's an adult, but that's all I'll say is
Yeah. Mike, as a not gaming person, buy or sell that Lucy is going to be in a fighting game?
I buy it because it's Lucy.
Yes. Yes.
They literally showed nothing in terms of gameplay, but like, yeah.
I'm
just the
fine.
premise of it is awesome.
I'm fine with that. I want random
Me
fighting
too.
games to start going, hey, anime character.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing is too is, you know, especially this coming so shortly after like the backlash to the Yor from Spy Family, and then it just ended up being a skin versus Lucy, who's going to be like a playable character. It's just so nice, and I feel like Cyberpunk's art style kind of just melds really perfectly with Guilty Gear's art style because they're very similar.
Totally does.
Yeah. Jacob, did you watch Edge Runners?
No. But
all right,
it's literally making you happy, so bye.
There we go. All right, now I'm gonna start with Kiona. I'm gonna start with Kiona again because I know this is gonna ruin his day. That we have to talk about his favorite show.
Because we're already ruined. Yeah.
Paramount has canceled Halo after 2 seasons. But wait,
what?
Buy or sell that the producers plan to seek a new home for a potential 3rd season.
I mean, should they have the chance to? Sure. Do I want them to revive that stupid excrement pile of a show? No. So this is a big buy. This is a big buy from me.
Here's the question.
Yes. I am so happy Helmetless Chief is no longer going to be gracing our TV shows.
You mean Master Cheeks?
Master
You're not
Cheeks,
going to be upset that there's not going to be random fights with the Covenants with Chevy Tahoes in the background?
Oh, definitely. Very upsetting. Yes.
Oh, think about poor Jeff at the Game Awards. Whatever will he use to promote like 10 minutes of the show with?
The next thing Kojima's doing. Are you fucking kidding me? He'll just bring him out on stage and start making out with him if he needs to. The man will save time. Like, are you?
You know what? I'm wondering if it's just like the next Game Awards or something. Do you remember? God, what? Clint Eastwood with the empty chair during the Republican National Convention. But instead of it being an empty chair, it's just like Kojima sitting in the chair on stage with Jeff for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, Mike or
the only one that could do that better would be Harada.
Mike or Kiona, do either of you sell the fact that show is done?
I buy the fact that it's done, finished,
I buy that.
finito.
No,
yeah, it's dead.
No, it can't die! This stupid fucking show that looked bad from day one! No! It can't be!
Yeah, anyway.
You know what the Covenant needs? A human!
And you know what Master Chief needs to do? Sleep with it and let that be the lead to the fall of Breach. Anyway.
Then, of course, yes, Cortana definitely has like a looking fetish too, apparently.
yeah, apparently.
Anyway, moving on.
Admittedly, the Reach episode with the actual action was pretty okay. Like they did do that all right. It didn't follow like the Reach storyline at all. It didn't follow the timeline. It didn't they didn't handle it well. But in terms of like the action itself, that was the episode that I actually liked out of the entire series, or that I at least hated less, let's say. But like, that show was such a dumpster fire. My God, they didn't even get the music right or anything in the first season.
I'm just kind of incredulous, like a show like that could come out in like modern times. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't understand, you know. Look, I know video games were slowly starting to get better. I have no idea. And mind you, this is like produced like Spielberg, how this show, like,
yeah, I don't know
how it got into this state. Like, it's abominable. They
didn't respect the source material. They didn't respect the fans. They didn't respect the story.
I just can't imagine like that mentality of like this day and age, especially when it's been proven that saying, "Oh, we know better, we'll make it high art." That shit doesn't fucking work. It never has.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I buy, by the way, I buy in case like.
No. I
Yeah, you weren't gonna like push me out of this one, Brock.
No, I wasn't gonna try to. I just want to move on. So we have roughly 13 more of these, and we're on a half an hour with the 6 that we've gone through. So I'm trying to go here. All right. Anyway, all right. James Gunn has confirmed that William Hoy is the editor for Superman. He is previously credited includes The Batman, War for Planet of the Apes, and Watchmen. Mike, buy or sell?
Oh, easy buy. And some of his other credits include the criminally underrated Kristen Stewart movie Underwater and Call of the Wild, both from 2020. So yeah, this movie's in good hands.
Yes. Jacob, buy or sell?
Buy.
Nice.
He, from what I've seen, he's a pretty good editor.
Kiona, buy or sell?
Buy, definitely. Yeah. Seems like he's got a good he's got a good filmography on there. So yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, he's a solid editor, and honestly, I feel like that's the problem with these. We need people in like a superhero films that are less like, oh, they're editing to like whatever corporate like bullshit thing. Oh, you gotta show this, but actually have people who can tell a story. And I don't even think it's a case that they're bad editors, but I feel like there's editors that are influenced by like studio mandates. So, but I feel like he's an editor that works well in the modern like commercial space where you could still tell an engaging story without, turning out shit.
Okay, absolutely. All right. Buy or sell, Mike, I'll start with you because you actually gave an answer to this on Twitter that I wasn't expecting. Buy or sell that the Russo brothers are in talks to direct Avengers 5 and Secret Wars?
I actually have two answers. I buy that the Russos want to come back for this because it makes sense. They have directed the two highest grossing Avengers movies. But I sell because literally everything they've done after Endgame has been
hot booty butt.
Exactly.
There's a movie, Cherry, which actually has a shot of Tom Holland's booty butt.
Jacob, buy or sell?
Buy, I guess. Buy. I wasn't the director of Shang-Chi originally attached to this?
At one point. Yeah. But I think so of about 600 other people secretly behind the scenes.
Might as well go with the safest option, I guess. Either that or just like give it to like Joss Whedon, but no.
Let's not. Let's not do that.
We have moved. Society has moved past the need for Joss Whedon.
Kiona, buy or sell?
I'll buy it. Yeah, I think it would be nice to see them come back.
Nice, Bree.
Okay, let me just preface this. Just give a little space of air. I don't hate the Russos. What they did with the last two Avengers film, they did a really good job, and they really wrapped everything together nicely, and they work really well in the Marvel system. However, I think with the way Marvel is right now, because especially if all like the things that have happened, some within and some completely outside of their control, I just at this point, like, part of me is just questioning, are they kind of speed running into like a new Avengers movie like too quickly? Maybe we should just kind of slow it down a little bit, because the thing is that even if Deadpool and Wolverine does like spectacularly well, like it's already going to do well, but if we're talking, possibly hitting the big B, that Metascore that I saw earlier in the week, I mean, that's definitely kind of raising, some flags of concern right there.
Yeah,
so
rating on Rotten Tomatoes is like 6.0 out of 10. So not
Yeah,
exactly endorsed.
yeah, honestly, Rotten Tomatoes to me isn't as big of a deal because that can easily be manipulated. I think Metacritic is a more
Yeah,
honest indicator of
a gauge of like
how receptive an audience is to a movie.
well, or at least the critics. Like that's like what the rating is what the average critic actually thinks of the movie. It's not just a binary positive or negative or anything. It's like it's about even though like just because a movie is rated high on Metacritic doesn't mean that necessarily it'll be your cup of tea. But it
Well,
is
yeah. I feel like Metacritic is more honest, and I feel
more-
like it's a little bit harder to game it versus like Rotten Tomatoes. But anyway, I'm just kind of wondering. I mean, I'm sure the Russo brothers, if they come to an Avengers movie, it'll be a very good Avengers movie. The problem is, in like the 5 years since Endgame has come out, I mean, society has like changed a lot, but I'm just not quite sure, that even if they bring like their biggest A of A games, and they have Kevin's golden touch gently guide them across. I'm not sure if now this is like the right move, especially since I'm seeing a lot of like kind of panic moves that feel very reminiscent to Disney panicking over like Star Wars. Like a lot of the problems of like Star Wars in like 2017, 2019, like I'm literally seeing these come up again with Marvel. So I honestly don't have like a definitive thing. I guess cautiously, having them come back just to kind of bring some familiarness, but part of me is kind of wondering, is that familiar is maybe like not such a good thing right now?
Well, like familiar, 90% of what's new no one likes. So we'll have to see. All right. So I'll go over that because I still don't know what the actual truth is behind that. The first sneak peek of some of the new Deadpools in the trailer. We got a sneak peek at Lady Deadpool and Cowboy Deadpool. Mike, buy or sell, who do you think Lady Deadpool is? And even though we said it's not, do you think it's just Ryan Reynolds in a wig?
It would be hilarious if like the body was Blake Lively, but you take off the mask and it's Ryan Reynolds.
That's what I'm kind of expecting, if I'm being perfectly honest.
That'd be great.
But no, I actually
That'd
think
honestly
it will be
hilarious.
I think it will be Blake Lively. So for that, I think I buy.
Kiona?
Yeah, I'd buy that. I'd buy that for $1.
Bree?
I mean, it's got to be Blake. Like, if nothing else would make sense.
It's gotta be.
According to Ryan, he can't afford her. Jacob.
Bye.
Manny? I don't want Taylor Swift in the movie unless she's Dazzler.
Same.
Just saying.
True.
A literal musically themed mutant? What are we even doing if it's not her?
Especially after Blake's iconic performance as Octopus in It.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, unless Taylor in character is screaming, "Look at what you made me do,"
Yeah.
I don't want it.
No, unless the person in character is doing the goat screams from the Trouble music video with the goats. All right. I actually forgot to watch this, so I will abstain myself.
You didn't watch it yet?
No, I didn't. Buy or sell, I guess Brie will go first. The trailer for the Terminator anime.
First of all, a Terminator anime, like, already sold. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, why haven't they done this sooner? And the animation looks so good. And it just really sucks it's on Netflix because it's going to be like one trailer and they won't promote it at all because that's what they do every single time. Because Ted Sarantos is more concerned about building funplexes in like the middle of Pennsylvania and Texas than promoting him stuff and putting movies in goddamn theater.
Mike.
I super buy this because, yeah, the animation does look amazing, and it's production IG. That's basically the highest seal of approval you're going to get for a series that kind of is reminiscent of a lot of those 80s and early 90s OVAs.
Yes.
Anyone who has not seen it, I warn you, if you're going to watch this, it is one of the most anime-ass animes to ever anime. But my God, Guilty Crown is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That it looks so good, but man, does that just go fucking logic and reasoning clean out the window about halfway through. They keep a steady track, but oh boy, the Apocalypse Rock virus comes out of nowhere based on music. Oh my God, Kiona, go ahead.
Oh, Megabuy. Yeah. Like Mike said, production IG, you had me right there. So yeah, I'm definitely for it.
They are gorgeous.
It looks really good too. It looks awesome.
Jacob.
I haven't seen it either, but from what I've heard, by anything like this is the only direction the Terminator franchise can go after Dark Fate.
Really? I thought they could do a Paw Patrol movie.
Yeah, I have actually not seen that much of Production IG, but from what I have seen, they're a good studio.
Oh, they're really good. All right.
Yeah.
For I guess anyone who has an opinion on it, I guess I'll go with Mike first. Buy or sell that both Jensen and Daniil Ackles have a first look TV deal for Amazon.
Yeah, I buy that. I have a feeling that Kripke put in a good word for them.
It also probably helps that he was one of, if not next to Homelander, the most popular character in The Boys.
Yeah.
So much that they made him the selling point of Gen V, even though he's barely in it.
I know. He's in one scene, and it's not
It was
even actually
great.
him.
No, it's an hallucination for someone's pleasures.
It was great though.
Kiona.
Yeah, I mean, I buy it. So we'll get a sequel to 10-Inch Hero.
Oh, someone else is seeing Hero.
I was told to by Red. She told me.
Oh, 10-Inch Hero's amazing.
Yeah. So now we'll get 12-Inch Hero.
Jensen Ackles is barely in that movie, but there's a scene where he has to buy Daniil tampons, and it's one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. And his name is Boaz Priestley.
It's fantastic.
That's also
that's
the
a great
movie
that's
where
a
he
great
met
movie.
Daniil and they fell in love. So
Yeah, that's why, There you go.
Bree.
It's automatic, baby.
Yes. Do you
Uh,
have an opinion? Buy or sell?
I mean, I'm glad like Amazon's kind of just stepping in general and kind of picking up where a lot of others in the streaming wars have kind of like cut off a little bit, and Amazon's slowly but surely like they're chugging.
Slowly but surely. Do you have any kind of opinion, Jacob?
No, what are they picking up? Sorry.
Jensen and Daniil Ackles got a first look picture deal at Amazon.
I don't know who those guys are. So
All right, we'll move on from that then. I'm very excited. Jensen Ackles is legitimately one of my favorite actors of
He's
all time.
great.
So.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So.
Alrighty then.
And she's great too.
Yeah, Daniil's great.
Left side, not yeah.
She's a great person all the way around. I'll just say that because I watched 10-Inch Hero.
Yes.
Wasn't expecting that scene whatsoever. But anyway,
Make us.
Jensen jokes. Yeah. I kind of saw that scene, and then we rode together after that. But anyway, so Iona, buy or sell that Microsoft is reportedly shuttering a major diversity, equity, and inclusion team, according to an email sent by the team's leader, a number of staff last week, which state that the company no longer sees DEI programs as business critical.
So
The whites
for
are
shame,
at it again.
Microsoft, for shame.
The whites are terrible.
I know. I just see this is like the white struggle. is that, you have to just continually be
No,
embarrassed
wait,
by
I
your
want you.
race.
Wait. I want a good, single, isolated chunk of you saying the white struggle.
A white struggle. No, but you don't understand. It's like
canceled.
but-
Fine. 4, 3.
No, but it's see, look, there's like two different kinds of white people, and you know what, Brock, it's us two. And,
Tell me
most of
what
us
the types
are.
are.
At least two.
No, we're
two.
those of the Snow White variety. Those of us who lack melanin. Those who really should not be talking about this at all.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is, look, there's.
I
white
saw
people.
Wakanda Forever. What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is, there's white people who are aware, and then the other groups of white people, or them wasps, and I mean the really like buzz type, who hate
Buzz.
everything. Yeah, buzzy buzz. And, probably should be on some certain lists. So,
Yeah, they were all at that event last week.
with Lara Croft.
And Hulk Hogan.
It's like Laura Croft. What the fuck are we? Anyway, rule of the podcast. We're not going any further in that direction.
No, we're not going
But,
any further than that.
no.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
All right. Anyway,
Brother.
I
God.
don't know if anyone else got any
Look,
quibbling.
Sheik was right, okay?
We'll move on from that one because I don't think anyone else has got a big deal to go on with that.
No.
Jacob, buy or sell? I don't know if you know this character is Jacob, but at least I'll ask you first. Rumor that the DCU found a booster gold in Keneal Nanjiani. Jacob? You might be away for a little bit.
Sorry, I
maybe
was on mute. Sorry, I buy. Buy.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right. It's all good.
I didn't think that I'd be the first person you'd ask, but
No, I'm trying to vary it around, but yeah.
he seems like a good guy. Come on. He seems like a very entertaining guy.
Yeah, and since he's gonna have all his time off waiting for his next Eternal sequel, so he'll have some.
Apparently. Might as well.
Mike,
Another comment.
buy or sell?
I tentatively buy this because, speaking for myself and a few others, Booster Gold has to be Billy Magnuson. He's been my number one choice ever since a Booster Gold series was even like an idea.
I will say that he's been the person that's did it, but yesterday someone suggested me Glenn Powell as Booster Gold, and I can't unsee it now.
Oh,
Oh.
that would be good too.
Yeah, I get that.
I kind of cannot unsee it now.
Actually, someone else I want to see Glenn Powell play is Oliver Queen.
Oh,
That would
oh
be
my
bad.
god, that'd be like God.
I'm gonna see if I can find the exact picture. Like I would be very okay with it being Oliver Queen. That reminds me very much of what's his name from Smallville,
Justin Hartley.
Justin Hartley.
Justin Hartley. Like that's Glenn Powell. Can we?
Yeah,
like-
Jesus Christ, it is. Oh
like-
my god.
like- This is always the Booster Gold I see. That is just Glenn Powell. But I'd be okay with anybody playing him. I'm not one of those. We spoke earlier about 2 seconds ago about how certain white people get irritated about certain things. Oh boy, did that rumor go well over on Twitter. But
Oh,
would have been a great
whites.
Guy Gardner. Well, he would have been all right playing a douchebag, but I'm going to be honest, ever since I saw the bowl cut on Nathan Fillion, we got our Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Perfect. That is perfect.
That's a guy that could get punched in the face by Batman and be
Oh
hilarious.
hell yeah.
Kiona.
Yeah, you know what? I buy it for Kamel. I think he would actually make a really good Booster Gold. That would be very interesting. A little bit out of left field casting, but you know what?
Yeah.
He could pull it off. He's got the comedic chops for it for sure.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Bree, did you comment on it or?
I was just gonna go with the, like Eternals. I'm just kind of like laughing, like yeah, how many people like hate it. Like I'm not saying Eternals is the best movie ever, but I will like defend it. Like there definitely like was like a vision there.
Yeah.
And then like all the Marvel fans bitching that the movies all look the same, but then they didn't actually see the movie that actually looked like a movie.
And I will
Whoops.
tell you I will tell you right now, the best version in TV, television, or anime of a portrayal of a speedster is in Eternals.
Yep.
I know, right? I'm like, I'll take that over the Flash any day of the week. Jesus Christ.
Makari was insane. That actually felt like she was traveling at that speed, and you could keep track of it the entire time. It was really good. Yeah. Anyway, so there was a thing that came out that apparently the guy who is the showrunner behind Umbrella Academy is, for lack of better terms, a dick. And that came out, and then I'm like, cool, the guy who's supposedly show running Horizon, and now anyone that cares, buy or sell that. I'm pretty sure, according to the rumor, Horizon's canceled.
I unfortunately buy that, especially hearing what we've heard about the alleged showrunner.
Kiona?
Yeah, it's just sad.
It is.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to buy it, but maybe at some point we'll see a Horizon, multimedia sort of thing.
We should just make a Horizon anime.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
agree.
good.
Yes, do it.
Get Production IG to do it.
Like, I want Trigger to do it, but
Get Trigger. Yeah.
You know, another good one would be Colorado.
Ooh, I like that.
But it's like you have I understand it in a video game context, but yes, Zero Dawn, Umbreon is what we're talking
Yes.
about. Hey, Goddess. There needs to
Hey,
be a
Pixie.
certain point where you understand. Oh, hey, Pixie. There needs to be a point where you understand that a ginger is fighting robot T-Rexes with a bow. That would translate better into animation than real life.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I don't want a 30-minute explanation about the rare carbine material that are in her bow tips that make it possible for her to shoot down dinosaurs that I know what would happen.
And I think we need to. I'm not saying that it can't work in live action, but I think with our video game adaptations, we have to have a clear divide. Like, I feel like stuff that's more like hyper realistic that you could easily do on a TV budget, like The Last of Us, do that in live action. That's cool. I think anything that's like high fantasy, unless you have like $300 million, like you're not gonna make that shit look good. So I think anything that's more high concept, keep it animated, but maybe like do it in like a different direction, like a more fantastical, less photoreal direction.
I agree, but it's like God of War at Amazon. I think will work because it's Amazon. They tend to do
Yes.
better with this kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, because they actually have money and they don't overspend. Like they'll just do like a couple shows that are like really good and not like greenlit 7,000 things
Yeah.
and just print money and then just randomly cancel shit. Because if you're
Jacob.
on Amazon, like you're gonna at least run 3 seasons.
Jacob, you got any kind of opinion?
I buy the fact that it probably is not going to be moving forward.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really all I can say. I've never seen Umbrella Academy. I've never played a Horizon, so just going by what I've heard, I didn't even hear about this until you brought it up, Rob.
Well, it was a thing that was rumored for the longest time, and then they confirmed it at a summit that it was in the works, which was a really badly kept secret. And then they've just said that they were starting production. That's all they really said.
Okay.
But okay, Jacob, buy or sell the Brave New World trailer, and also buy or sell the fact that it's really weird that they didn't put it in front of Deadpool.
I buy it. I love how apparently General Ross shaving now makes it look like Harrison Ford.
I do like that, yeah. Short seasons, but seasons nonetheless. Yeah, that was a pretty good joke. I was waiting to see how they were going to address that.
Yeah, that was.
Well,
pretty
I
funny.
mean, it's cool that Ross isn't being played by like a literal monster now and that he's dead.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. Mike, buy or sell?
I buy it, and I don't mind that they showed the trailer early because they had to put this in front of Deadpool, and I guess some people saw it in front of Twisters, maybe not, but
Maybe I didn't show on mine.
I think one
Not
of the
mine
reasons they
either.
put this out early is A, because I had to put something in front of Deadpool, and B, I'm pretty sure at Comic-Con we're gonna get something bigger, like an actual
Something, yeah.
scene from the film.
Could be. Kiona.
I buy it. Yeah, it looks interesting. I'm glad that they're picking up on some plot threads left over from Falcon and Winter Soldier. So
Absolutely.
yeah, pretty cool.
Oh, man! I'm not going to bring it up, but I'm just saying the confluence of events that we got that trailer, that finale of The Boys, and the thing that happened between these past 2 weeks.
Which we all forgot about now because other crazy shit happens.
Yeah,
Just
Mhm.
this was the most, like, what I want to say, deep impact, freaking Armageddon levels of real life shit ever. But anyway,
But I don't have a fucking Aerosmith song to show for it, so that pisses me off.
Excluding COVID, Madam Web are the longest time between comic book movies we've ever gotten. Yeah,
Jeez.
and oh boy, have we been spattered with quality. Don't worry, we still got fucking Craven coming this year. Oh, and we got. But I'm okay with Venom. I actually like the
Damn.
Venom movies, so. But
The Venom movies are so dumb and inoffensive.
they're dumb fun.
They
They're
are dumb
really
fun. They
dumb.
go
Really
for
dumb.
the dumber part of Venom, which doesn't get shown enough, which I kind of
Dumb,
appreciate.
dumb.
Oh, do you mean the movie of the year? Let's not talk about. The worst
Madam
part
Web
is
Splattered
if-
all of us.
the worst part is that is a 7.5 movie trapped in a 1.5. Like, if you did an actual thought process and moved just minor parts of that plot, you could actually make a decent movie out of that.
You know,
There is bare
we
bones
should
design
we should really just record an audio commentary for that, and we could say, hey, it's just so we don't get copyright struck. You could start here. You'll hear this commentary as we watch the movie. Just press play.
Just do cinematic Titanic. You mean movie of the year? No, there's. But all right. So speaking of really good ideas that'll probably do well, Fiona, buy or sell a remake of Fistful of Dollars, the movie that launched Clint Eastwood's career.
Your face says it all.
Are you doing a Clint Eastwood impersonation right now?
Just imagine a tumbleweed just like slowly rolling past me right now.
Maybe.
Okay, hard sell. Hard sell.
Here's the thing. I thought we decided after 2012, after The Lone Ranger and Cowboys versus Aliens failed, that we weren't gonna fucking do any more westerns.
No, we just decided that we were just going to try and remake them. Mike, buy or sell?
I would say buy, but
Would you like it if it stars his son?
That's a tougher sell.
What if I could offer Pauly Shore?
Absolutely not.
That's a definite buy from me.
No, I would buy that.
Hell
Just-
yeah.
Jacob, you got buy or sell on Fistful of Dollars remake. Have you seen the original?
Yes, I've seen the original.
Okay. Well, it's one of those ones that even some
offended
movie
strike.
buffs haven't seen, so I'm never sure.
I've seen the entire Man with No Name trilogy, in fact.
Nice.
So, so.
Got it. No, I kind of figured it was going to be that all the way around.
This isn't like a good time for westerns after Horizon.
Oh God.
Yeah,
forgot about that.
how's Shelving Coyote versus Acme working out for you, Dave?
Oh, even worse. Did you hear the news? They officially lost the rights to the NBA and TNT.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is officially the worst period in Warner Brothers history, and that includes the AOL merger.
Yeah.
It might be worse than Seven Arts, which before the podcast I actually brought up. The only good thing that happened during the Seven Arts era is that's how they ended up with DC.
Mhm.
Yep.
No, so then therefore that's a bad thing. Because right now that thing's trapped there,
also-
hoping that
it's
someone
trapped.
can make it happen.
And also,
I'm going to go with the worst that ever happened.
I didn't know this until recently. Warner Brothers bought Atari at one point.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that did happen too.
It did.
What is up with Warner Brothers and terrible mergers? Like all the major movie studios but Disney have been through like mergers, but I'm like Warner Brothers ones have just fucking been egregiously bad, and I can't figure out why.
Oh, there was also one point where somehow Soldier Boy thought he bought Atari when he actually just bought like coupons. Everyone go look up that story. It's great. Soldier Boy's an idiot. Anyway, but there is pictures of my Facebook of me doing the Soldier Boy, so yeah. It's like a blob of companies. Pretty much.
It
But
really
anyway.
is.
All right. Now, honest to God, don't even know if people are still looking forward to
Are
this
you a
game.
believer, Brock?
Cue
Are
the
you a
smash!
believer?
Cue the Smash Mouth! Jacob, buy or sell that Shrek 5 will release on July 1st, 2026.
Five.
The
Shrek
Shrekkening is upon us.
The Shrekkening is indeed the. The teaser is gonna have a little like piano, little tiny like the few couple of notes of All Star.
Pretty much.
You
Yeah, well.
know, it's like crazy is because Cameron Diaz is coming out of like retirement for this.
That
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bree, buy or sell.
Hey, it's fucking Shrek. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. This is like one of the truths of this world.
Yeah.
Shrek knows no religion or creed. We are all Shrek. Shrek is one. Shrek is us. Bless Shrek.
Mike, buy or sell.
I buy this. They've been working on Shrek 5 for I want to say ever since
Katzenberg was still Katzenberg was still there. They're still working on it.
Yep.
Kiona.
Somebody. Okay, no. Anyway, I buy it.
Yeah. That is just, it's one of those things where I'm just that comes out of the ether, and then you just get this group of people that have just been in an underground bunker. Like they all are normal, but this part comes out where they're like, huh?
Yeah. And
That Shrek is the minions of millennials.
yeah, it is. And
But also the team that they have behind this, I'm kind of excited. Well, I mean, it was a joke, but now it's a real joke. But also
they need to put a disclaimer and a rest in peace to the lead singer
They do.
of
yeah.
Mouth and that.
They do.
No, but I'm actually kind of interested with the creative team they have behind Shrek 5. And, yeah, I'm kind of interested. Like, I'm sure they're going to keep continuity, but I'm kind of... It's because it's going to be weird because CG's kind of changed, like, so much of Shrek. And we got a little tease from, like, The Last Wish. So I'm kind of curious if Shrek is going to continue its same art style or if they're going to go with, like, a more, stylized approach. It's gonna be interesting.
I'm assuming they're gonna be stylized. I mean, you don't come up with a style like in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish without really milking it. So,
I don't know. DreamWorks historically, I mean, this is more the Katzenberg days, have made bizarre decisions that don't really make sense on like any level. So you never know.
yeah, it's not Katzenberg isn't really known for making the best decisions. I think we all remember Quibi.
The girl with the golden hands.
Yeah. Actually, when Shrek 5 comes around, what they should do is that they should release, like, basically all like the what all the dialogue that Chris Farley recorded. That'd be something.
Oh, I'd love to hear an official version of that.
I think that he died before he could record all of it.
Yeah.
A part of me, I do kind of want to live in the timeline where like, either like if he didn't survive, then like at least they could like gone like a satellite or something to like fill in.
Yeah, well, I think the writing of Shrek like fundamentally changed because, like, even if you look at those early drafts of Shrek, he was definitely more like Disney esque.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like a misunderstood boy, like no one understands me, which I think was truer to the books.
Yeah.
Sorry, and then the
Did
new
you
creative
guys see-
direction took
Did you
very
see-
much of 180.
The animation test was actually fully leaked recently. Have you guys seen that? Do you guys remember how
Yes.
words are gonna look?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, like the original Shrek was actually gonna be like basically Tommy Boy.
I could.
Yeah,
see
well, I think most people forget that Shrek was originally a children's book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. One last buy or sell. Good God, we're going on an hour.
Oh shit! Oh well.
The trailer for Gladiator 2. Mike, buy or sell?
buy, easy buy. And I haven't actually seen the first Gladiator, surprisingly enough. But
What? Really?
yeah, I know it's.
He was
one
not
of-
entertained.
It's one of my rare Ridley Scott blind spots, but
Hmm.
I'm just excited for the cast and just how
Denzel Washington. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kiona?
This may surprise you. I'm going to say sell. Didn't like the trailer.
I don't blame you, honestly.
Love the first one. Love the first film.
The-
I don't
the
think we need
music
this
was-
one.
The music did not suit a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Denzel looks great. The performances look great. I don't know. I mean, I'll probably watch it at some point, but I don't know. It's a sell for me.
Gotcha. Jacob?
Fine for me, except for the music.
Yeah,
I
the music
just-
sucked.
I like the fact that Ridley's still like making movies and stuff, even if not all of his movies are bangers. I'm interested to see how many people will go see it because obviously Russell Crowe's not coming back. Then I could be. Did Joaquin Phoenix die in Gladiator? I forgot.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the only cast member that's coming back is Derek Jacobi, actually. So, yeah, I'm interested. Like, how many people will like want to see this one? And
Yeah.
I probably will want to check it out. It'll give me a reason to revisit the original Gladiator.
Absolutely. All right. Moving on to the actual topics. One of I think the stupidest statement I've heard in quite a while coming from Microsoft. God, I don't try, but they feed me a lot of ammunition when I'm looking for topics to talk about. Microsoft marketing boss for the EMEA, Michael Flatt, says the team has to be quite scrappy, really, when fighting for funds from Microsoft, that Sony and PlayStation regrettably outspend us and we're not blessed with huge media budgets. Microsoft could buy Sony.
Yeah.
And Sony's outspending you. What? I mean, I don't mean to be this guy, but maybe you should spend less time putting asses on Xbox controllers if you're that concerned about getting commercials out.
Or maybe you should spend more time doing that.
Well, not when you can't buy them. If you're gonna sell, it's just like pick and choose your battles here.
You want to put asses in seats, put asses on controllers. There you go.
Here's the thing: all that is a detachable mount.
It's a magnetic attachment thing. Yeah.
That like they didn't even make that a battery pack.
No.
Are you kidding me?
Sad.
Like
yeah, that made me want it less. You know, at first I was kind of excited about it, and then it's just magnetic.
Yeah, it's
So
yeah.
it's just
Should have
an
been
accessory.
Magneto's ass.
It's just a magnet. Like the controllers look cool and stuff like that, but it's
Yeah, the controllers are nice. It's just they just put they molded a magnetic piece of plastic and just basically put it on
Lame.
there and made it look like Wolverine and Deadpool's asses.
yeah,
Just why?
Fun, but
because it's marketing. But it's like again,
Yeah.
if you don't have a large budget, pick and choose your battles. The Deadpool
seriously,
Xbox
if that's
was a cool one.
Yeah.
That was a one thing. But like you can't keep saying just, well, we put out a commercial for Game Pass and people will know stuff's on it.
Yeah, they're just making a lot of bad decisions, which they've been doing since the Xbox One. I mean, they're slowly just killing themselves. It's death by 1,000 cuts, I think.
It is. It's death by 1,000 Matrix, but anyway. But
1,000
yeah.
TVs.
All right. And one thing that interested me that I thought was funny because a lot of people did this to try and fix the original game. One of the head guys at CD Projekt Red that half of the Quest team on Cyberpunk 2 is modders that they found.
That's
awesome.
I mean, that's brilliant. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, why
hey,
not?
you fixed our shit the first time. Can you make it so shit doesn't break?
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be working with a less screwy engine this time.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a resume. If you can make these things work, you don't have to hand in a resume. They saw it. It's one of those things where trying something as a hobby can actually get you somewhere.
This is like the equivalent of the lead singer of a tribute band joining the band that they're tributing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're not wrong. All right. One thing that I thought was weird, and we finally kind of got an answer on from the old director, Silent Hill and Gravity Rush creator, oh boy, am I going to mispronounce this wrong, Korichiro Toyama says that Sony wanted the Japan studio, which shut down and no one was happy about, even though their games didn't sell well. Wanted them to make high budget games, and he wanted to create original ones. He said with Sony, there was an increasing motive to make more highly budgeted games, and they wanted to go that way with Japan studio brand. My motive was always to create original games. I feel I can do this without a massive budget. This allows me to express myself as well by going independent, and this has allowed me to do that. For my time at Sony, I feel like I'm accomplishing what I want to do. So, straight out of the horse's mouth, that's what happened to Japan Studio. I wondered, because it was a highly acclaimed studio that made great games, but it was one of those, we want a different Marvel movie, and then no one watched it kind of things. We wanted different games, and they made them, and then no one bought them. So it's like you can't complain about that and then be like, well, I wonder why the studio shut down. And it is a little bit of a different story, but okay. So remember what I told you before that Toys for Bob bought themselves out of Microsoft and then were making Crash Bandicoot for them when they bragged about how we're not going to shut down IPs, we're going to keep them going. We're not going to become a content graveyard. Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie 5 is canceled after 3 years of development.
Oof.
After every single thing that they put out for Banjo-Kazooie Crash Bandicoot has been successful, selling millions of copies.
I almost wonder, just because if the original game wasn't working or if it's a rights issues like
they own all of it.
Stuff.
There's nothing. They own everything. Activision has everything. And it was a brand new game.
You know what it is? It's Microsoft saying, hey, that guy used to be Sony's mascot. Let's kill him.
But let's brag about buying him in the first place and invite him over to the house to be like, he's ours now. And also, it sounds like there was supposedly a Spyro game that was in development, but that's not going to do anything either.
Man, Spyro fans can't get shit.
They could have just done it to Pepsi Man or something.
You know who also can't get. You know who also can't get shit. The basic people who use Game Pass now.
Yeah,
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Remember when the big thing was everyone at Xbox is the best place to play, unless you're a poor bastard and you buy the basic package. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you want new release
We
games?
never
Well,
do that.
well, fuck you. You can have it 9 months after it comes out, and all your friends have played it.
Yeah, if you pay the extra money, we'll let you do that. We openly said in court we'd never bogart or like put things behind a paywall just because we bought more expensive stuff until
What
later.
shady business shit? No, Microsoft would never do that.
Never.
No,
ever.
not after emails where they literally said, "Don't worry, we can just outspend Sony. We'll just buy all the other studios." In literal emails from 2 of their top executives. But no, they're innocent. They need to spend $70 billion to compete with a company they could buy. What are we doing? And like, this is copying the tier system that Sony had, but worse.
Yep.
And it's basically saying, if you have a console, we don't like you. Go buy a Fire Stick. This is basically what this is saying. Or get a PC.
Get a PC. Yeah.
Oh, it drives me so nuts. I've never, like, I want to buy both. South of Midnight looks great. I want to play Xbox games. But people talk about cults in modern day culture. The people that defend this shit, I've seen get so much worse than any other gaming company. Like, this is worse than Nintendo, like, not as bad, but Nintendo that thinks their games are going to be $60 700 years from now. It's never going to lose value. That's because they believe in the IPs they have. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is literal bullshit.
Sounds like a lot of cope from hardcore Xbox fans.
It is.
Well, I mean, that's all they have is code.
This also.
Yep.
Let's never forget about that.
Yep. They introduced it.
It used to be free on Sony for the longest time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was on Nintendo too, so fuck you, Microsoft, for doing that.
Yeah, and don't worry, it was inevitable. I like how those terms always change. It was a will never increase. I didn't care. I thought eventually it would increase because you spent $70 billion. The most not cost-effective purchase ever. And then you go, yeah, we won't raise the price. No, you're going to raise the price. What you should have said was, we're not going to paywall certain content, which you would have lied about too, but oh well. Oh my god. All right. What was it? Oh, but what's funny as far as that goes, PayPal, my god, Palworld is not on Sony consoles currently, but
Right.
Pocket Pair has created a joint venture with Sony Music and Aniplex, which is also owned by Sony, which I did not know for the longest time. The fact that they own Aniplex, Crunchyroll, and was Funimation is nuts to me. That is one company away from being a monopoly on all anime. It's kind of insane.
Literally the only other like big dog. I mean, unless you're counting like Netflix would be
Activision,
Viz.
Umbreon, Activision. But it's nuts. It's pretty much like some of Hulu and High Dive.
And High Dive has really taken a nosedive in terms of the amount of acquisitions.
Anyway, so they partnered with them to create Palworld Entertainment. The company will accelerate its multifaceted development of Palworld into further expanding the IP. We are going to get Indentured Servitude, the anime. I can't wait. I cannot wait for that anime to come out and it to be literally Pokemon with guns. I can't wait.
I do think if with they expanding for some of the stuff, they probably, because Nintendo's cool for now, but I feel like if they're doing like an anime and stuff, some characters are probably gonna have to get some of their license numbers filed off.
But that's one of those things, though. When they did that whole comparing of models and shit, it came out that the guy literally morphed the models to make them look closer and admitted that he did it for shits and giggles. And it's one of those things where legal distinction. We have a mouse with a lightning bolt. You didn't copyright mouse with lightning bolt.
Yeah, I still think if they're doing like an anime though, they're definitely gonna probably make it a little bit more like distinct.
I hope it looks scrappier, like not as clean as Studio Colorido does.
Oh, I think it will be.
Well, I think the other issue is because Japan doesn't really have like the same parody laws that we have, so for like legal reasons, I feel like they kind of would have to.
Well, it's either way. It's one of those things where they've also said they haven't raised an inch to it, where if they cared in the first place of something becoming popular with 20 million copies sold, they would have raised it a lot sooner.
Fair.
I got a good feeling, because you would have stopped that dead in its tracks when you saw it was becoming popular. Because Nintendo has not been afraid to just take out the shotgun and take their head clean off of any imposter immediately when they actually cared. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But if they start out with, I need to be the best slave owner that ever was, then we'll start having legal issues. To catch them is my real test. To enslave them is my cause.
More crimes, gotta catch them all. I'm gonna go to the hog. More crimes.
Would be basically a monster taming version of Fairy Tail. I've not seen Fairy Tail, so I don't know how to take that. I know there's a lot of fan service in Fairy Tail, so other than that, I don't know. Yeah. All right. We are through the gaming news. Has anyone watched all of season 4 of The Boys?
I'm halfway through the season, so
I haven't even seen the first season, so I'm saying this topic up.
Okay. Anyone? Or we have to wait a week?
I've seen up to episode number 7.
So you're almost done.
I'm almost there. Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to
There are things that I like and things that I don't.
I'm trying to finish by Saturday so we can talk about it on the next.
You're not in the podcast, Umbreon. I'm not spoiling it for them. Go back up in 2 weeks. I appreciate you, though. We will be able to talk about it. If you want to talk about it, I will be... Well, whose fault is that? Not mine! Stop yelling at me! Show up or join me on stream, because I will be streaming later this week. You can talk with me about it then. Speaking of stuff that some people like and don't like, since we're not going to talk about season 4, I found the best comment ever, I think, on why a character is not going to show up in the third Sonic movie.
Oh, yes.
Jeff Fowler. I am afraid of if we include Rouge the Bat in the film, it'll awaken something in people. When I played Sonic Adventure 2 for the first time, I remember exactly what I felt in the moment she was introduced. ... It could be dangerous.
That is
I think that's the reason why you should put her in the film, but that's just...
And have her be voiced by Scarlett Johansson just to make it worse.
Oh, God.
Who doesn't want their big titty goth bat in the middle of this? Like, come on.
Rouge portrayed by Scarlett.
That makes almost too much sense. And you know what? I'm not sure if the Sonic fandom would be ready to handle that.
I think they would. I think they very much would. I think they'd be able to handle that.
Yeah, no. I didn't finish. I don't think they would. I don't think they would be able to handle that in terms of they would just be spewing their Sonic fluids all over the place and like dooming us all.
Along
with where there's Sonichu medallions too.
See, you take the medallion.
They're cursed, Have you heard?
They're cursed. This is another thing that's sonic fluids. Hey, just imagine it's a chili dog.
God damn it.
Hey, did
God
you guys
damn it.
remember Stitch's Great
God
Escape, the
damn
ride
it.
at Disney World? And they had like the chili dog flavored scent that Stitch would belch out of. If you want to talk about
Oh,
a
Lord.
wild with a wild history, originally that ride was supposed to be themed after Alien, but then George Lucas got mad, so then they made a cool ride, but then it was too terrifying because it was in the Magic Kingdom, which is not where you put horror rides where people get disemboweled in.
Oh,
Oh, Michael Eisner, you
Remember when-
crazy little boy.
Remember when Cinderella's castle was TP'd to sell that ride?
Oh yeah, I do too. Late stage Eisner was hell of a drug.
He finally just sold all of his shares. Did I see that correct?
no, that's Ike Perlmutter.
Oh, Ike Perlmutter, that's right.
Yeah, no. Michael
right,
Eisner's cool. I mean, he gave us BoJack, so post Disney, so all is forgiven.
True.
All right. Now the next one that we have to go off of. I'm quite happy about the listing that we got here. Where is this thing? Go forward, mighty steed. All right. Okay, so we got the Deadpool 2 soundtrack, and it might be my favorite soundtrack I've seen for a film. Before we get into it, those that don't know, I am a giant Avril Lavigne fan.
I know where you're going with this.
And I'm telling you right now, if I get Ryan Reynolds singing I'm With You while he's going through a car ride with Wolverine, I might die of happiness. Because that's the song they have, and I can't imagine it's not somewhere else in the film. I will literally burst into tears of joy as I'm pissing myself laughing.
I have a feeling that's going to be exactly the scene for that needle drop.
Like, the only thing that could make this better, the only thing, is while they broke into a musical number of Deadpool trying to convince Wolverine to come with him, and he sings Girlfriend to him.
or things complicated. Your relationship between you and I is so complicated, and you're so jaded.
I don't know. I was thinking Girlfriend with his past girlfriend being Fox, and now it's just Deadpool. But either way, we have the greatest showman. We have the greatest show being in
I
this.
love
That
that.
is ridiculous.
That is meta.
That is meta commentary to the infinite amount. And
I always wanted
like,
a Wolverine musical.
yeah, and like Glamorous by Fergie, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, Ramblin' Man.
First of all, Iris Bangs, that is one of my favorite songs of all time. And I feel like people forget that it was a stupid tie-in song, The City of Angels.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yeah, nobody remembers that.
Yes, there is an LFG song which I don't know, and Deadpool or guy always just like Ryan Reynolds has openly said there's songs in the film that are not on this soundtrack.
Yeah.
I wonder which Taylor Swift song is going to make an appearance.
He said his favorite Taylor Swift song is Betty. I think he said it in an interview. I believe it was Betty, but I could be wrong. I thought he said that because there was a quiz, and they thought it was something else because apparently Ryan was singing Taylor Swift songs at Hugh Jackman while they were waiting to do scenes. Apparently she babysits Ryan's kids. They're like really close. But yeah, You're the Only One That I Want, Ramblin' Man, The Power of Love, Glamorous by Fergie. This is the most like... And there was some TikTok where Blake Lively was like, tell me that Deadpool is married to Millennial without telling me. And it starts going through this entire soundtrack. Also, Lady in Red, like, you can't tell me that's going to be played during the reveal of Lady Deadpool taking their mask off.
It's too
yeah.
easy.
I tell you, if Lady in Red right now, if we get Lady in Red playing and we get a scene where Lady Deadpool actually is just Ryan Reynolds' head on a woman's body and he makes out with himself to Lady in Red Plane, I might die.
Oh, jeez.
I just might die. You can't tell me Ryan Reynolds wouldn't do it.
He would.
Obviously.
He still would.
Yeah, it's oh god. But anyway,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, tangentially related to this, did you see the names of his two like katanas?
Oh, it's
It's
Betty White or B Arthur and Betty White, or he mentioned it
It's
in the
Arthur
first
and B.
movie. Arthur and B, got it. Yeah, he
Yeah.
had that for a while. Like he also like
I fucking love that.
he also donated money to is it B Arthur? That he had on in the shirt in the scene where he was interrogating that fuckboy with that he ordered the pizza.
Yeah,
I can't remember which Golden Girl it was, but like the kids wanted like something for that being in there, so we donated a good amount of money to a charity that I believe that she has. It's great. He's a giant Golden Girls fan.
I love the fact that they brought that in from the comics too, because it was just
Yes.
always a thing that Deadpool just loved B. Arthur.
Yeah, and one thing, speaking of comics, I love that people have just been okay with the fact that they never put the multiple personalities in. Like, I've never heard someone complain about
Oh
it.
yeah, you don't honestly like Deadpool used to never have that. I don't think. Like he didn't really have that until the Daniel Way stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I was going to ask, who was it that introduced the?
I don't remember. I don't remember, but I really badly
Daniel
wanted
Way.
it. I really badly wanted like one of the voices to be Ice Cube and like one of them to be Patrick Stewart. I wanted the most just polar opposite, just or like Charlie Day and like Daniel Day-Lewis. I want that big, just a difference in the two. And it,
was
hit me
always
like
just
a
that it
a
was always just that
smart-eyed idiot.
his internal monologue just knew that he was in a comic book, and that's what it was the whole time. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, one that I know will make Mike very happy. Longlegs distributor Neon has acquired the rights to release Christopher Stuckman's horror movie Shelby Oaks. The film follows a woman who searches for her sister, who became a paranormal investigator on YouTube after realizing the imaginary demon from her childhood may be real. That's supernatural! I just love how that plot detail minus YouTube is supernatural.
Oh, really?
But anyway, literally the first episode of Supernatural is Dean comes back to find Sam in college because they go to investigate something. And then when they come back, the demon that burnt their house alive burnt Sam's college dorm up and they go hunt after him.
Oh,
It's bordering on Supernatural. But either way, it could be a good idea. It's not like John Krasinski where If is literally just Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. So it's not quite that, but yeah.
If came out less than 2 months ago, holy shit.
yeah. That's how fast this is just flown by.
But
The Imaginary
yeah.
is a better version of that, just FYI.
Oh, the Imaginary is amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, this news, very happy for everyone involved. For Stuckman,
Yeah,
for
same.
Mike Flanagan, who's the producer, and Neon, who kind of buried in all this news, had their like most successful opening weekend with Longlegs. Grossed over like 22 million a couple weeks ago, and yeah, very happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the controversy, which whatever, fuck the internet. Anyway, no, but really, I'm so happy for Stuckman. I mean, he's been in the game like so long, and he is like he. When you talk about YouTube filmmakers, like some people roll their eyes, but the guy's like a genuine like filmmaker, and yeah, I'm glad that he's finally like all the work, all the sweat, all the tears is just finally paying off.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
It's always cool, like, when a critic, like, when a critic who makes a living, like, kind of, like, ripping apart bad movies, like, a director of those bad movies, like, well, let's see you make one.
Yeah, making a bad movie is hard too, contrary to popular belief. Absolutely. Okay. This
Yeah.
next thing
Love that for him.
this next thing thoroughly confuses me. Thoroughly confuses me.
Yeah.
Spider-Man
It
Noir.
shouldn't
Well,
confuse you.
no, it should because it doesn't make sense.
No, but that's what I mean. It doesn't make sense. So it's because it's Sony. So that should make perfect sense.
Because that was the one thing they weren't screwing up. Because I thought his name was Peter Parker in the original version of Noir, but Spider-Man Noir will feature Nicolas Cage as Ben Reilly. The character will still have the noir look, but will go by Ben Reilly instead of Peter Parker.
Yeah, I think it's probably for legal reasons because of their deal with Marvel. That for live action, like Peter Parker can only like appear in the MCU since they're sharing him.
But he has. He's been in multiple Sony movies. Just as a baby. He's been in them.
Right, but he's not Peter Parker Spider-Man. Or they just call him Peter.
Or they call him just nothing.
Yeah, it's like though we don't know that's like the legalities of that. I just don't.
It has to be. Otherwise, this makes likely no sense at all. Because those are like two fucking different characters.
I get that. It's just that I've never in my life seen we can only have you use the name Peter Parker if it's animated. I've never seen a name clause in something before. Ever. But also, that's like, they mention him in Morbius by name. Like, the weirder part, they were refusing to use the name Ben Parker, but were okay with using Peter Parker.
Yeah,
That's what makes worse sense. And it's Nicolas Cage. I'm happy.
And also Lord and Miller are involved in this, so it's going to be of a certain quality.
It will, yes. I just.
Is it possible he's a clone?
I don't know.
Because if he's a clone, then that could be why they're calling him Ben Reilly.
Maybe.
You know, I'm almost wondering if he is a clone, and then the other reason is, to distinguish him from his animated version of the character.
Maybe that's all it is.
I hope so, but that's another thing where it's like, we're going to distinguish you from your animated character, giving you literally everything he has but its name. Yeah. That's what's so weird to me. It's like weird. They didn't even cast a different actor. But it's so weird. But anyway, all right. Speaking of the boys earlier, I like when people are honest about shit like this, and it's another reason why I like Jack Quaid, who I'd really like to be Barry Allen.
Well, first of all, he's an awesome Superman.
Oh, he is so good as
he is an awesome Superman. Oh, he is absolutely. But he has the same problem that Kevin Conroy had. He sounds great as Batman, but he doesn't look convincingly as Batman, which is
about
he tried for the role, but still, even if he tried, he doesn't have the natural look that a Superman actor has. That's not his fault.
No,
but
I mean,
it's not his fault.
Blame Randy Quaid along with. Sorry, Randy's the other crazy one. Dennis Quaid is his father.
It's still family.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that was a different father than I thought was involved. But anyway, Jack Quaid has agreed that he's a Nepo baby. I'm just like, I saw this and I'm like, thank you for just not being that guy. He's like, I don't think it undermines his talent, which he does have. But I also know this industry is hard to break into, and I had an easier time than most. I appreciate the unabashed honesty in that.
Yeah, very honest. Very cool.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong if, your parents are famous and you have a thing in the door. I mean, that's called networking. Like, I don't think anyone should be crucified because of that, but at least be honest about it.
But no, if you have literally no talent and you're only in a movie because of your parents, that's different. You can tell when people actually, like Maya Hawke, him, you can actually tell when people actually try to do these things.
Yeah, they have talent. Yeah.
And you can also tell by their parents. They're like, okay, if you want to do this, cool. You know, you should check in with these people. They're not like literally being like forced to do this.
Another great example, Wyatt Russell.
Yes. And
that,
Scott Eastwood is another good one.
Yeah, Scott Eastwood is kind of my least favorite out of this crop of Nepo babies, but he's got the talent when it counts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just one of those things where some people are just like, I did the stuff of sure talent. It doesn't hurt that my family has ins with every studio in town. Just stop doing that. Nepo baby is a term for a reason. I understand it's relatively new, but yeah. All right, so this is so fucking stupid. This is so stupid. Warner, damn it! I can't even say this with a straight face.
Here, Brock. You need to take a drink first.
I need
to deep in. Just
I need
dive
to-
in. Just
I need to
dive
do a lot
in.
of things.
Balls
So,
to the walls.
So Warner Brothers Discovery, after merging, how long ago?
It was
I guess it was
July or August of 2022.
yeah, it's like 2.5 years ago, right?
The studio with, but now hear me out on this. I got an idea. The studio is looking to possibly splitting into two different companies, one being streaming and studio assets and the other for cable assets. What if we called them, I don't know, Warner Brothers and Discovery? What are we actually fucking doing?
Oh, okay. Well, let me just break this down first. So the reason this happened anyway, how Warner
They're
Discovery
stupid.
happened. Well, yeah, that, but also it's because AT&T, fucked up and they wanted to get out as quickly as possible, and basically they offloaded it, and that's how Warner Discovery it came to be. And then you have Zaslav. But seriously, what the fuck is up with Warner Brothers and these terrible mergers? I'm like, historically bad.
It's because the actual Warner Brothers were terrible at running things.
Well, also, yes, Jack Warner was a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. I agree. Heisers, 100%. That is
100%.
encapsulated perfectly. All right, so Studio Perot is rebranding a second studio as Perot Films that will concentrate specifically on anime films, which I saw coming a mile away.
But that's interesting too. So, Proro, period, however you want to use to pronounce it. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Proro, like, the clown. So, they've done Bleach, Naruto things, but the interesting thing with their rebranded second studio, the first big project that they're actually doing is the third season of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, which previously was just being done by the main studio.
Mm-hmm. Which they're going back to seasonal content, which is good because now that they got I can't think of that fucking guy's name. The one that is the reason why we have 1,000 episodes of One Piece. What is that guy's name?
Oh,
He was a studio head that basically demanded to get 100 weekly episodes for 10 years is what his plan was for everything. That's why Naruto and everything ran for hundreds of episodes
and they were bad
much
and
filler.
so much filler. And I'm so glad that
that guy
they're not
just
doing that anymore.
is now finally out of the industry. Period. I can't remember what that dude's name is. Oh, it's gonna bug me. I can't remember what his name is, but yeah, he was basically the sole reason behind most of that crap. But yeah, I'm happy because if it gets anime and better quality, like they're doing the whole last season of Demon Slayer as 3 movies. That's awesome.
No, but especially Poirot's work, that's few years. I mean, they've always had quality work here and there, but on a weekly schedule, it's hard to maintain. Have you seen their work in Bleach? Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like when you get given the time and actual resources, you can make things that are really good.
And you have a CGI team that knows what they're doing. And
Yeah.
everything's properly, budgeted and timed. Like, who would have thought?
Who would have thought? All right. Speaking of teams, Matthew Chauncey, one of the writers of What If, is set to write season 3 of X-Men 97. Bo DeMayo's work has been revised and completed for season 2, so nothing needs to be touched.
I'm happy to hear that, at least. Part of me is kind of scared that we have a new showrunner as opposed to one of the other writers who are already on staff, like moving up to that position. Like I think Charlie Feldman, if they were to ascend to like head writer or showrunner, like that would give me more faith in season 3 than who they have now. But I'm not entirely against this.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
one of those things where as long as you have the core team that knows what was all going on, as long as you have a guy to steer it. As much as some people didn't like some things of What If, they had good ideas.
They did.
And if you don't have to come up with brand new What If ideas and you actually just have comics to go off of, that's easier.
Well, not
In my
only that, but, doing something serialized versus, like, one-off episodes where you have to, like, cram an entire story into, like, 22 minutes versus, something where you have, like, 10 or 12 episodes to kind of deal with.
Yeah, it's a lot easier of a process.
I just
All right.
really hope I really hope that they have the same ethos and the same sort of like the same approach to the source material or to the material that
I
they
agree.
had for season
Well, I
1.
think it also kind of just depends how season 2 ends.
Yeah, it does.
If we know how that ends, then maybe this guy's like, based on his experience, the perfect work. But it's kind of hard to think of it without having the context of like what's coming up.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Because one of these things are everyone says that Bo did a good job. Bo did. But, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, what if season 2 comes out and it's a steaming pile of shit and it was made by the same guy? That does have the possibility of happening. Do I think it's going to happen? No.
Mm-hmm.
But not every season of every TV show bangs at 13 out of 10 like that last season did. So
yeah, that was a
we'll have
great
to
season.
wait
Holy
and see.
shit.
And that's also another thing that I need to add that is one of my biggest I can't fucking stand it critiques that I want to bring out the socket wrench back for again. If the first of something is a literal, like, lauded as a 17 out of 10, and then the next one is an 8 out of 10, and they go, yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as the original. Shut the fuck up. It's still an 8 out of 10, and you're upset it wasn't perfect? When most of these people go, yeah, I don't understand how they will accomplish that. That is so impossible how they made this perfect season with so mistakes. You literally just said it was impossible that they were able to achieve this, and you're mad that it is 2% less as good? I'm sorry we're going from a 5-star restaurant to a 4.75, and you're acting like we're going from fucking Texas Roadhouse to McDonald's kids menu. Like, why do we need to do this?
It goes back to like the problem with on people who are like terminally online, where everything is either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. There is no middle ground.
No. And
Listen to End of Film Course on Renegade Podcast Network.
kind of glad I wasn't on that because that would have probably been 30 minutes of me just fucking screaming at the top of my lungs. Anyway, on to things that another thing that I'm having trouble fucking understanding. And again, it's WB's and fucking. Okay. DC's upcoming Penguin series has been rebranded from a Max original to an HBO original, and it will air weekly on HBO.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I kind of get this. I mean, contrary to what people say, I'm this season of like House of the Dragon is absolutely fucking like fantastic. So I feel like the approach here is that WB wants the prestige, and they have a lot of faith in this show. So by just labeling it an HBO original, it gives that sense of prestige, and not that it's a streaming show. That no. This is a much, a highly desirable piece of art that you have to watch that's also available to stream next day on Max.
I think what this is an admission of defeat, because they have really not been doing so great with streaming originals, and HBO, as you said, Bree, still has the prestige, even if things like The Idol kind of
But it's its own just funny story, and honestly good for Zendaya.
yeah. Sam Levinson is a hack. Nobody should ever want to work with him again after all the things that I've heard.
Yeah, it's
Because the truth is, he needs Zendaya. She doesn't fucking need him.
Nope.
no, she does not. All right. Going on from that, Sony CEO Tom Rothman has asked Channing Tatum how they can make 23 Jump Street finally happen. The canceled script was really great. It was perfect idea. So anything we've ever written than that hasn't hit the bar. We're going to make it. We're not going to make it just to make it. Well, you can pick one of the 700 ideas you had at the end of 22 Jump Street. I was okay with any of them. Literally any of them at this point. As long as you can have another moment where I laughed as hard as the theater as I did is when Channing Tatum finds out that the main chief got his daughter slept with and then bragged about it with Jonah Hill. I died in that theater. Just Jonah Hill strapping Kevlar freaking bulletproof vest on as he's getting ready to talk, as they're just staring at him, and the literal timer to tick as he's dancing around the. I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face. Ice Cube is an animal. I would not have been able to keep a straight face in that situation.
It's been a minute since I've seen both the Jump Street movies, but yeah, I remember the second one and that scene specifically just knocking me out.
Oh, it was great. And like Channing Tatum has some of the best comedic timing out of anyone on the planet. That's speaking of, this is not the spoiler that I saw. I kind of want to see it in Deadpool. But yeah, I do love how interviewers now are handing him packs of cards in his interviews recently. He's like, you're probably going to need these. And he just laughs. But does anyone want or really, really want a third Jump Street movie?
Only if there's a good narrative reason to have one.
Yeah, because this could be like forced and like really, really, really bad.
Yeah, it could.
Although part of me still kind of wants the Jump Street and Men in Black crossover.
Oh god, I forgot that was going to be a thing.
It was. That was a part of that big leak. Yeah, that was a thing because that Men in Black sequel did really good.
The only way that would work is if they got like Smith and Jones back, like with Tatum and.
I don't see them ever getting Jones to get back in that suit ever again, story wise or carrying wise. That man could not give a shit less nowadays. Will Smith, I could see doing it. Tommy, not so much.
Yeah, no.
You ever want to see a joy? I can't remember who it was. It was someone for Collider. I want to say it was Ashley Mova attempting to interview Tommy Lee Jones. That man is the worst interview on the planet. I love him as an actor, but he is the worst interview question answerer on the planet. He just does not care whatsoever. All right, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Apple plans to cut back on TV spending. They've spent over $20 billion on shows and movies since its launch of Apple TV Plus. The platform currently generates less views in a month than Netflix does in a day.
Here's the thing that really sucks about that. Honest to God, out of all the streaming services in terms of quality and everything, Apple TV Plus is like the best one. Like, literally, they
Mhm.
don't put out shit. Like, everything they touch is, like, fucking gold. From, like, the kids and stuff. Like, Mythic Quest is, like, the hardest I've laughed at a TV show in ages. And then the Monarch show, the Monsterverse show, like, that shit's good, too. Like, they literally have not put out a bad show.
It is, but the weird part is Apple Plus is kind of treated as the weird one that everyone's kind of like, oh, do you have this? And then they're kind of like, no. It's that extra service that people don't feel like they like. Next to Max, it's the one where they're kind of like, no, I don't need it kind of thing.
But here's the crazy thing, is that Apple TV Plus, like, if you get, like, any of the Apple's, like, cloud storage things, like, it's included in there. I mean, look, they don't have a lot, but it's very much quality over quantity. I'm like, there's other shit besides Ted Lasso on there. Like, there's, like, legit, like, some gold in there, and they keep producing it. The problem is, it's kind of like this similar problem with Netflix, is they just don't advertise it as much. And then unless you're, like, in the reviewer space, like, you don't even know, like, half the shit that's coming out. And I'm just...
That's the thing, though. You just mentioned the problem. Even the people that watch Apple TV don't brag about the shows. No one I've ever seen that owns Apple TV Plus will talk about literally anything except Ted Lasso.
I know there's a couple people who are fans of The After Party and Severance, but that's because it's kind of an awards darling.
You know what the crazy thing is? If you go, like, again, Mythic Quest, which absolutely, please watch it. It's great. Their official, like, account, even if it's still up on, like, Twitter X or whatever the fuck we're calling it now, it only has, like, 10,000 followers. Yeah, mind you, like, this is, like, half the team behind It's Always Sunny is on there, like, writing the show. And it's, like, co-produced by, like, Lionsgate, and is it Ubisoft that also produces it as well? I just can't remember.
Huh.
Maybe. It is all about gaming, so... And Ashley Birch is in it, everyone.
Oh, she's fucking great in it.
Yes. The voice of Aloy. I love that girl to death.
And also, like, if you want to see, like, an episode that actually had me, like, emotionally, like, on the edge, that has, like, the full arc of emotions, their quarantine episode, honestly, is, like, the best of the bunch of, like, when they were doing it in, like, the Zoom style format, because they're the only one that actually kind of made it fucking work, because I worked inside of the context of they're a gaming company, so of course they'd be on a Zoom call.
Yes, that is true. Doing all their at-home work that no one wants to have happen anymore because they're losing all their money in all their building. Okay, so this is going to kind of be the sad part of the podcast. I mentioned during our last podcast that I would love to have a podcast period where a celebrity didn't die, and then 4 of them did.
Yeah, and these are all not small figures in the pop culture landscape.
No. Shannon Doherty, Richard Simmons, Shelley Duvall, and Bob Newhart. This is pretty much the last thing that we have. I was just going to leave it open. Any roles of any of them, anything they appeared in. Like, one thing I was going to bring up that I don't know anyone's going to bring up. My family heavily watched Whose Line Is It Anyway? And that was basically, you did your chores, you did everything, or you didn't get to watch Whose Line at the end of the night. There is an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway that Richard Simmons is on that is genuinely one of the funniest things I've watched in my entire life. There is a scene where Colin Mockery has to use him as a prop and ride him as a jet ski, and I think I actually died. He's just so damn funny. It just, he's such a self-aware person. Like, even him in Nutty Professor, all this stuff.
No, I remember my mom had his tapes, and, like, it was, like, a thing, like, it was, like, religious. Like, if he was healthy enough to, like, just function, you know, in the modern day, like, he would have blown the hell up on TikTok. Like, it was that thing. It was, like, before TikTok, kids, we had tapes. You would buy them, and you would put it into a thing called a VCR. So it's kind of like TikTok, it was like one loop, and you only got one thing on it.
Remember when they used to export us, or I should say, extort us as kids to have one episode of Power Rangers on a single VHS tape, and it
Of
had
course.
that much film?
I think the first
Yeah.
time I saw Richard Simmons was that scene in Space Jam where
That's right!
You're doing it. You're becoming mighty.
I
yep.
forgot all about that.
Yeah, not only that, but he had a guest appearance in Rocco's Modern Life, in,
And
like,
Johnny
his,
Bravo.
as
Oh
his
my
like pig
God.
Sona. I guess it's first Sona technically, but he was a pig,
forgot.
so
I
I'm like, I'm
forgot
not sure how
all
that
about
works.
I
Amazing.
forgot all about that.
What's weird is like that he died around the same time as like the whole Pauly Shore debacle. Remember
Molly
Pauly,
Shore debacle?
Pauly Shore?
I know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Pauly Shore was going to play him in to buy a.
Oh right, shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh wow.
I didn't know that was happening. I had no idea that was happening. Oh, that is weird.
Yeah,
That is very weird.
Pauly Shore did write him an emotional tribute though. Wonder if
Yeah.
they're going to move forward with that.
Yeah, it's, and Bob Newhart, obviously a comedian, all the thing he's done. Shannon Doherty, I know there's something that I've seen her in that.
Heather's, which Urban
Yes.
Legend says
It's
that's
a
the reason
movie.
why she ended up on 91210, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh really?
I want to. There's that too, but I want to say there was a movie I remember seeing her in that my mom loved when I was younger, but I can't frickin' think of it.
She was in Mallrats.
Yeah.
Nah, might have been Mall.
But yeah, Heather's is one-time favorite because she just like plays bitch like so perfectly.
Yeah, that she does.
Yeah.
All rats. The ticket.
You know what's the crazy thing of Heather's, and one of her co-stars actually put a tribute, like she's the last of like the original Heathers, and that's kind of like scary to think about. Like most of them, like sans like Winona Ryder and Christian Slater, who are obviously very much like still alive, like so many of them like passed away like at such a young age. It's like crazy.
Yeah, it's. I know it's just freaking one after another, and
I know. It's been one of those years.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a 2016.
Yeah. Very much.
and like I kind of forgot about, like, you don't hear about Shelley anymore.
Yeah.
That just can't, like, she was, as weird as that says, she was only 75. I feel like she was older. That's just weird to me. Give or take that, what's his face? I can't remember the director. Aged her by 30 years. Stanley Kubrick aged her by 30 years in The Shining.
I mean, she still looked like good for her age, but she definitely was like, I'm gonna like age gracefully and die. She probably had like other medical conditions that the public wasn't privy to, which probably is another reason why she retired from acting.
That makes more sense than a lot of the urban legends surrounding The Shining.
She had a movie come out in 2023.
She did. She did. I actually was going to mention that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
together and she got her.
yeah, 2023, and then before that it was 2002.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, oh my gosh, and then she was in Boltneck, which was the worst movie that, like, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were talking about their worst rated movies ever, and Boltneck came up and she was... He dies and gets implanted with the mind of a serial killer. And he's like a teenager.
When did that come out again?
99.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
2000,
that's definitely like a Y2K era movie. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Lord. That's young Ryan Reynolds. Goodness gracious. And then she was in one episode of Wishbone.
Yeah. I mentioned Wishbone a couple of times on your stream, Brock.
You have, yes. Because you were mentioning it for all the Hasbro stuff.
all the Mattel movies that they're
And Mattel, yes, that's what it
Mattel
was.
trying to
Right.
make into movies out of. I love that show, Wishbone. You guys remember that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember Wishbone.
What?
I had
forget
some of the
those-
Wishbone books
Wishbone.
growing up.
I had like the most 90s theme song. Wishbone, da 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 da,
Yeah, like
Wishbone.
she had like her own like bedtime stories series. I
Oh,
remember-
oh yeah, Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater, which honestly, I was rewatching some of them on YouTube. Like, some of them are wild for like who's in them.
I watched the Three Little Bears one in school actually.
Nice.
I for the longest time couldn't remember what version of Three Little Bears that we saw in school, and turned out it was that one.
That's right.
Fairy Tale Theater.
Oh,
Oh
that,
my
that had Tatum O'Neal, John Lithgow, Carole King, all in that episode.
Looking back at stuff, I'm just trying to think of some of those I loved Bob Newhart from. Obviously, I watched in Elf. I
Yeah.
forgot he was in Rescuers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Bernard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bernard.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
I'm surprised how many people say they prefer the original Rescuers over Down Under.
It's been a hot minute since I've watched either, so I don't remember which I like better.
I know
Well,
for a
I
fact
mean,
the
I mean,
sequel.
Down Under is like a more put together thing. Like the original Rescuers. I mean, it's fine, but it's pretty much typical like
It's-
70s
it's a
era
po-
Disney.
Yeah,
It's
What was
very,
the
you know,
movie?
it's a Xerox movie. It's like, you know, that really kind of like cheapy.
It's very much a what would Walt have done movie
yeah.
from that period.
Mhm.
Rescuers Down Under though, that movie is a lot of fun. From like the opening shot alone is like the camera's like zooming like through that field to like that house. Like that alone was like that really got you into the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was like the first movie that they used caps on too, like completely.
Yeah, it was.
Because I know for Little Mermaid they only used caps in like the final scene just because it would have been easier for like the rainbow stuff and like compositing. Also, it was like new and they were like already like too deep in production to use it on the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. Man, that kind of makes you want to go back and watch those now.
Shelley Duvall,
You
she
said
was,
VHS.
Yeah.
remember Shelley Duvall, she was also I'm sorry for a bit of a tangent here, but she was
Okay.
also Olive Oil.
In the Popeye
Yeah.
movie, yes.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah, shit.
Right. That's right.
That's pretty perfect casting.
It is.
It is
It's first of all,
very-
the '80s Popeye movie is fucking immaculate.
It is. It really is. That was the one that had Robin Williams as Popeye, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Right. Yeah,
Yes.
that movie was freaking ridiculous.
As good of an adaptation as you're gonna have for Popeye, for sure.
Yeah, you're never getting a better casting than those two.
Nope.
Who was oh no, I'm not thinking of his name. People are originally more because of nostalgia and of Madame Medusa. Who was the one that played? I can't think of his name. The villain, is it Brutus? The big dark hair. Gosh dang it! Oh, the villain who's always trying to win over Papa or
Was it
olive oil.
Pluto?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pluto.
yeah.
Pluto,
Who
and that's
played
Paul L. Smith.
Paul Smith. Okay, got it. I actually got to, on accident, see the hometown of the creator of Popeye. The first con that I went to, when we had to go meet Kevin Conroy, my friend was staying like just outside of Chester, Illinois. So that we're driving through, and I see all these Popeye statues and stuff all over town. I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, no, the creator of the town lived here. We're like, oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Just like coming around the corner, and I see like a picture of like a thing of Popeye with like a light coming out of it. Just, oh, this town really likes Popeye. Oh no, like the creator lived here. I'm like, okay, got it. But yeah, no. If you guys got anything else you want to do, that was basically everything that I had. I don't know if there's anything else you want to bring up for that, but that's all I really got.
What's this last little dibbly do that you have in the notes?
That's something that I need to get a better grasp on for later. That might be a whole video in itself. Someone had a very bad take on Mass Effect.
Extremely bad. I read it. Yes.
Oh, yeah, he did read it.
Yes, he did.
But yeah, we'll talk about that on another day. That's something I want to get Josh.
Yeah,
and Chris on. All right, it is starting to get late, so we should get out of here. All right, Kiona, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Neoplasmic24, also on Instagram and Threads at Neoplasmic81, also twitch.tv/Neoplasmic. I had to cut stream short today because something came up, but other than that, gonna start again pretty soon. Gonna do another stream pretty soon. I'll let you all know. And yeah, and also on RenegadePopCulture.com, where Brock and I co-host the Renegade Arcade Reloaded podcast. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mike. Where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and that place at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Crafty, did you not have audio this entire time?
They were at work, so.
Oh, got it. I'm sorry, Crafty. Oh, no. We're just about to end. I'm glad you came and lurked anyway. Bree, where can everyone find you?
I'm at Crazy Lemur most places, occasionally Lemur's Rule or some variant of that. Glenn Brisket, I'm single. I love dogs. You could take me out. So, yeah.
Okay. Jacob, anything you want to talk about? Anyone meet you anywhere? Anything you want to say before we head out?
You can just find me on Facebook. I'm Joe Krehbiel, Krehbiel. I'm probably not going to make a habit of appearing on these or RPC on a Zeroing Out or RPC, just because I'm probably going to be slightly more busy in these next couple of months or so. Yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck in all your endeavors.
Thank you.
I'll come back when I come back.
Absolutely. I
Of
appreciate you coming up, Jacob. All right, and you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. Anyone watching this who is a fan of Ruby, next week at the end of the month, I'll be giving away a Aaron Zek signed Blake Belladonna print and a Kara Ellerby signed Weiss Schnee print. All you need to do is be watching the stream and be subscribed at the time, and you have a chance to win. Your name is entered into a random drawing. I have nothing to do with it. All I do is hit enter, and it does it all itself. It's all randomized. So all you need to be doing is subscribe and watching at the time. It's $5 for something that I believe I paid $60 for each of. So it's a pretty good deal. All right, everyone. Until next time, we will see you all later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.